Okay, we are live. We are recording. Thank you to those who've just joined. I hope you've had a great weekend. For those who don't know who this lady is in the fetching shirt, this is our Chief Products Officer, Mrs. Deanna Latson, and she's the brains behind all the products you see in Arik. So everything that you see that's on the shelf, everything that you see that you build your business with, there's a lot of thought, a lot of detail gone into that. And one of the products we're going to talk about today, which is kind of our flagship product for the Nutrify range, and one we are focusing on specifically, is Mother of All. So Deanna, I really appreciate the time jumping on the call. Really appreciate your shirt. And maybe for those who don't know, without going into too much, most people do know you, but if there's any new people, maybe a little bit of background on you.
Sure. So I don't usually dress like this, so thanks for mentioning the shirt. This is my special MOA shirt. It's not my typical everyday wear. A little bit of background. Been in the health and wellness industry now for holy moly, a long time, 22 years. Started because I was 65 pounds heavier than I am now, an 11-year bulimic, suffered from pharmaceutical drug addictions, headaches, bad skin. My dad had issues, I'm really giving you Cliff Notes versions here, but after we got that all under control and really learned the power of the human body, when you treat the body right with the right stuff, you get remarkable results. And you see, it's normal to wake up and feel sick. It's normal to, not feel great. It's normal to be overweight. It's normal to have diabetes. It's normal to have all these things, but it's not natural. And once I learned that, started a full-time speaking career in the health and wellness industry, speaking all over the world. And then 7 years ago, we started this company called RX, and here we are.
Here we are right now. And I'm sure there's not just myself on the call who's appreciative that you did start the company. So let's get into Mother of All. I've actually got some stats here, Deanna. So before we get into the presentation, you let me know when you want me to mention these. Kind of did a bit of research from a British perspective about some interesting stuff, really. But essentially, the story of MOA from my perspective was when I was in a previous company. I wasn't actually looking for anything, but stumbled on Arik's, and I thought, hey, what's this crappy company launching in the UK? I don't know, what's this? And then I just Googled Arik's products, and the first one that I seen on YouTube was Mother of All. And it was crazy. I was captivated by it because in my previous company, they were nutrition and they were fruit and veg. And I had this image of the products kind of spilling out all these fruits and vegetables, and no one ever took me seriously. But then when I see more, it was like, wow, someone had my idea and took it over here. So there's a bit of a connection straight away. I mean, there's other reasons why I moved, not just because of a video, but that was the start of the interest. So it's pretty ironic that we've come full circle and we're here right now, and that's the product that we're actually leading with. So it's a fabulous product. I know most people on the call use it every day. If you don't, you should do. And yeah, maybe from your perspective, Deanna, how did it even come around?
I mean, to call it fruits and vegetables makes me want to reach through Zoom and choke you a little, because that's doing it a massive disservice. First of all, let's just put that on the table. How did it come about? We had a group in the Netherlands who was going to join our company, and they had a liquid supplement, and I was anti-liquid supplement. And I said, great, oh, you're coming over, wonderful. We have great products you'll love. They're like, we want this liquid supplement. And I said, no, not doing it, because liquid supplement industry is powders reconstituted with water, and then they're boiled to death. And it's kind of a bullcrap industry, right? And there's just no other way around it. And so I said, no, not going to do it. And then our CEO, Fred Cooper, got on the phone with him and said, sure, Deanna will do it for you. And she'll do it in 3 months. And I was like, what are you saying? It took me a year. First of all, it took me a year and a half. And I finally got suckered into doing it. We had lots of manufacturers who said they would not do it because we were doing something different than everyone else was doing. We were shipping in real seeds from the Middle East. We were shipping in mango from Madagascar. And when you start to deal with all these whole foods, now we had some extracts too, but when you start to deal with all this, it's a nightmare for manufacturers. So manufacturers are like, no, we don't want to do your product. Why are you doing this way? Nobody ever does it this way. And I figured, well, if we're going to do it, we're going to be innovative. And when they started telling me that, the manufacturers, I realized we're doing something really great, because we're going back kind of old school, real stuff in the bottle, not boiled to death, still high nutrient, photonutrient, glyconutrient contents. And we're doing it the right way. Just because innovations come up and, they're reconstituting everything with water and boiling it to death doesn't mean it's the right way. So MOA's was born. Took a lot longer than 3 months, but it was born, and it has become one of the #1 products in the company. More testimonials on MOA than probably any other product we have. I mean, this, just so you know, these notes right here is all testimony after testimony. People I haven't even heard, don't even know, who have told me some things. I'm like, what? I don't even believe that. Like, the testimonials are so incredible.
That's powerful stuff. And yeah, we're having the kind of same sort of results now alongside the H3 as well, which we'll talk about later on. And that's our business really, because you can talk about ingredients all day and all this sort of stuff, but your average customer, they just want to see the results or hear the results. That's why right. It's important. And then when they feel it or they experience it, then they tend to share that. So I know you've got some slides. Do you want to share them or do you want me to share them?
Sure. I'll bring them up.
And then just as you're doing that, I'm just going to talk about some stats just to set the scene. Is that okay, Deanna?
Yeah, that's fine.
So obviously, Deanna's talking generally about nutrition, but specifically about MOA and the power of that. I just found some relevant stats, I think, to this subject. So on average, British people spend £80 a month on takeaways, which is pretty cool when you think about it, because you could get yourself a box of pouches instead. So
what's a takeaway?
Takeaway food.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. Tomato.
You spend way more than that, since
I probably do. I probably bump that average up. No, but but I take the supplements from you, so I'm all covered, right? But that's interesting because people can often say with things, hey, I haven't got the money and things like that. It's always a matter of priorities, nutrition, like, is where do you value your health? And that's kind of the message we're trying to pass on with more. So maybe that's an interesting stat for you guys. The average person spends over £80 a month on food that's bad for you when they could reinvest that money into something that's beneficial. More than 2/3 of men and 6 out of 10 women are overweight or obese in the UK. The UK is the most overweight nation in Western Europe. So again, all the...
trying to compete with the US.
Yeah, I think we're catching up pretty quickly. And then with regards to nutrition, 2/3 of the UK, so the majority of the UK, eat 3 or fewer portions of fruit and veg each day. And the NHS recommend 10 portions a day. So when we're talking about being nutrient deficient, then kind of, the stats don't lie at the numbers of people who are. So powerful stuff, really. And hopefully a good backdrop for you to deliver this presentation.
Yeah, thanks, James. I mean, the reality is the signs of nutrient deficiency are everywhere. Depression, anxiety, brittle nails, losing your hair, bad skin, white bumps on your arm. It just goes on. And nutrition deficiencies, we now know the damage your system will endure from a nutrient deficiency is 100 times greater than any damage caused by radiation and chemicals to your DNA. Like, you can't screw around, if you're stressed out, if you're drinking alcohol, if you're doing drugs, if you're taking pharmaceutical drugs and you're not eating a really great diet every day, like, you got to check in, because really good nutritional supplements is like real health insurance. And I know a lot of rich people who are spending all their money trying to regain their health. I mean, what's the point of working your butt off your whole life and then being like, oh, I can't move, right? I can't do this. I can't do that. Like, it sounds no fun. And, why did we do MOA? Well, we wanted to do MOA differently. We did MOA differently than anybody else doing liquid nutritional supplements in the world. But we wanted to help prevent a lot of the problems that were happening out there. See that? That's a cancer cell. Everyone has them. You have them, I have them. And when your immune system isn't working well because of stress, because of negative thoughts, because of environment, because of bad water, because of bad food, these things flourish. So if we can help be preventative in nature and help you avoid some of these pitfalls that everybody else is falling into, we're doing our job. So there came MOA, right? MOA, all these ingredients. What makes them special? I'm going to just go through a handful of the ingredients. And MOA is way more than a supplement. It gets incredible results at testimonials, as I mentioned, from all over the world. It is hands down a bestseller within customers and people who are in the business. And it's won the People's Choice Award. I mean, we back ordered in Europe, in Netherlands, and people were offering €100 for a bottle. And these were customers because they saw the results in their skin, for their children, for their immune system, how they felt. And when we back ordered for like 2 months, they panicked. And because they were, your business, your customers, if something works, it grows. So let's talk about why it works. These are all the ingredients within MOA, and I'm going to go through some and highlight just a few of these ingredients. Otherwise, we would be here all friggin' day, because I could talk about how powerful our cranberry extract is. It's so powerful. It's a standardized extract that's really good for the urinary tract system, and we could talk about how it works and what it does. I could talk about the kelp and the green tea. There's so much to talk about, but I'm going to focus on what I think are some of the most wow ingredients in the product. So let's start with the mushrooms. And people eat mushrooms, but there's no way people are eating these mushrooms. These are very special mushrooms. And we know that mushrooms are, that they enhance our immune system. They enhance macrophage activity, which is your cells that they're like the garbage collectors in your body. That they have the ability to help the neurological system. That they have a rich history. And we use a very special type of mushroom, and I'm going to go into some detail on every one. But before I do that, I want you to know something about mushrooms. Mushrooms are like sponges, which means they absorb anything they grow. And that's why it's super critical to always buy organic, because they absorb it all. We buy a very specific patented mushroom. It's actually called a mycofusion. So they take these mushrooms you see in the picture, which we'll go into, and they grow it on that purple corn that's in your left-hand corner. And it's a proprietary fermentation process which creates what's called mycofusion. And that is the fusion of these amazing organic and medicinal mushrooms and all the power of the purple corn. So let's look at what the purple corn is. It comes from Peru. So it comes from the Peruvian Andes Mountains, and it's been used for thousands of years by the indigenous people of this region for all types of different purposes. It is now recognized even in America as a nutrient powerhouse due to its very rich antioxidant content, vitamins, and minerals. So let's talk about this really quick. The purple corn expresses one of the deepest purple hues found in the plant kingdom. And this vibrant hue is like, it makes it indicative of the kind of antioxidants it contains. And these powerful compounds in purple corn make it stand heads and shoulders above regular corn in contribution to health. And there has been studies published in the journal Nutrition that found that this particular purple corn and its ability to help support against diabetes and obesity. This corn was studied at Ohio State University. They studied what's called anthocyanins, which is an ingredient that helps keep your immune system really strong. It's a compound found in purple corn. And they studied grapes and all these other things. And without a doubt, the purple corn beat it. Everybody else showing remarkable results in this study. And I have to tell you, these mushrooms are grown and crafted to produce standardized high potency ingredients. And we've visited the farm, so the process is done. And we've seen every step, how the purple corn is seeded with the mushrooms, how it's grown, how it's incubated, how it's harvested, how it's controlled. They take that corn, they make it into a soil, and then they grow the mushrooms out there. There are hundreds of mushrooms companies out there in the world. We see them at every trade show. And some of them actually use wood and sawdust to grow their mushrooms on. No nutrient value whatsoever. Remember, the power of MOA is its incredible phytonutrients and glyconutrients that it contains. And that comes from these mushrooms. And just so you know, those are big words. What's a phytonutrient? Those are the chemical compounds produced by plants that help keep plants healthy and protect them from insects and the sun. glyconutrients are plant sugar linked in chains, and the bodies break these sugar down into simple sugars, and people use these sugars to make medicine. And I tell you what, these mushrooms, these medicinal mushrooms, are designed to keep your immune system strong, your body feeling fantastic. And they're very special patented mushrooms. So you can't just look at this as a mushroom. You got to look at, whoa, they're grown on specialized purple corn, organically, indoors, controlled, standardized, which means their levels of antioxidants are always the same to give you the best possible mushroom ingredient on the planet. And I have to tell you, these mushrooms help your body's own ability to fight all types of things, including the aging process. And so often we hear people say MOA is magic. It's not magic. It can seem magical and when immune system isn't working right, and then all of a sudden it's working great. But that's when it gets the nutrition it needs to function the way it should be functioning. So let's just quickly go through these mushrooms really quick, if you will bear with me, because I'm going to give you just a few of the top highlights of these mushrooms. So agaricus mushroom. This is the one that most people think about when they hear the word mushroom, button mushrooms. But what you have to understand is there are 50 different, there's like so many species that fall under this agaricus mushroom category. The particular species we use came from the Amazon. It was discovered 50 years ago, growing around some small villages in the Amazon, and it's only found in that region. And the Amazon tribes in this region actually have traditionally used this mushroom, and they have the same word for it, means meat. So it's been like a primary source of protein and fuel for them. They rely on this mushroom because it's so rich in antioxidants and lots of other health sustaining nutrients. And it's been subject to intensified scientific research over the last 35 years, and its numerous health benefits have become really widely known. So here's a few. It reduces oxidative stress. What causes oxidative stress? You breathe in toxins, you're having a bad day. Oxidative stress is kind of like when the body's rusting from the inside. It helps promote cardiovascular health and metabolic wellness, and skin health for anti-aging benefits. And we, of course, have the most potent agaricus mushroom you can find because of the way it's grown and its patented. But agaricus is only one of this amazing 6 mushroom blend. Let's move over to cordyceps. I mean, who's eating cordyceps? These things look like worms, don't they? I mean, James, you eating these things? And I'm serving you up a plate of these things. Nobody's eating these things, right?
Yeah, not me.
No, they're actually known as winterworm or summer grass. And it's described in old Chinese medicine books from ancient times. And it's also found in Tibetan medicine. And healers have recommended cordyceps, and Tibetan healers, as a tonic for all types of illnesses, for energy, digestion, stamina, libido, endurance. And it became popular in the Western world when the coach of the record-breaking Chinese female runners accredited the team's extraordinary success with cordyceps extract. So it is one of the most powerful performance longevity promoting herbs in Chinese culture. And so let's take a look at some of the benefits. And you have to know that this has been used thousands of years and really is one of the most valued traditional Chinese medicines. And they also, one thing that China calls it is the mighty stress beater, right? Which is fantastic. I mean, who doesn't have stress in your life? If you have children, you have stress. And I also think that this is interesting because it was discovered in the grasslands in the Himalayas. It was known as Himalayan gold. That's how valuable these mushrooms were. So what does the cordyceps mushroom do for you? Why should you care? Anti-aging and stress relief, energy and vitality, cardiovascular health, immune system support, and kidney health. And you can look in a lot of evidence-based journals. A study that was published in 2014 in Complementary and Alternative Medicine really showed cordyceps and its benefits from bringing down inflammation, its positive effects on the brain. And it's not like you can just walk down to your local corner market and get a great cordyceps and cook it up. Plus your family might look at you a little funny. Let's look at reishi. Now, this also has a very rich history in Chinese medicine. Yet again, another mushroom that is not common. It's not one that most people are eating. let's look at where did reishi come from. I love the history because I think the rich history says so much about its potential. It was known in China as the mushroom of immortality and mushroom of spiritual potency. Oh, I mean, sign me up just for those names, right? Doesn't that sound cool? And if you look, it's one of the most well-respected medicinal mushrooms in China. And we're talking over 2,000 years ago, there's been documentation of how it's been used. And it's been routinely used by mountain men, monks, Taoists, spiritual seekers throughout Asia, because of their ability to, their belief in its ability to help spirituality and the neurological system. So let's take a look at some of the actual benefits that have been proven out by reishi. And remember, we're talking 2,000 years of history on the reishi, okay? Known as this legendary enhancer of health, benefits of longevity, immune function, sharpens memory, improves mood, promotes well-being. All something I think most of us could benefit from. And you know what's really interesting about this mushroom is that when people started understanding its health benefits, that it was harvested to the point of almost extinction. And it literally, if you read any Chinese literature, you will find that it is like their fountain of youth. And there has been so much research done to support the really what seem like miraculous medicinal properties of this mushroom. And so in Asia and China and Japan, doctors use it alongside or in place of established pharmaceutical medicines as a first line of treatment all the time. And this mushroom is in MOA, and it's in MOA not only as a really powerful organic reishi mushroom, but a reishi mushroom that was grown a very specific way to make it even more potent. All right, we're not stopping there. Let's go into the next mushroom, so the shiitake mushroom. And the shiitake mushroom has a rich history from Japan, known as the elixir of life in Japan, and studied since the Ming Dynasty. Native to East Asia, very, very long history of medicinal use as well. And it's been growing wild since prehistoric times. So let's look at the shiitake mushroom benefits. Cardiovascular support, supports a healthy immune system, boosts energy and brain function, and a good source of vitamin D. You're seeing a trend here, right? What are we doing with MOA? We're helping the way you feel, maybe helping the way you think, helping your immune system, helping your heart. And we're doing it with some really powerful medicinal properties. Let's move into the lion's mane, which is such a unique mushroom. It's really a beautiful mushroom. And this one also is known as Mother Nature's first smart mushroom. It's named after this very specific type of Buddhist monk who were believed to have like supernatural powers. And according to legend, they use lion's mane to stay focused during meditation. And quite frankly, the legend might be true when you start looking at the science. You see, lion's mane is like a gift to your nervous system. It's a mushroom that possesses very potent nerve support. So it has the potential for supporting, memory, attention, creativity, anxiety, helping support your body if you're suffering from that. And when you look at the proven benefits of your lion's mane, your brain and nerve cell health for cognitive function and support, cardiovascular health, and anti-aging. Yet again, we're following very much in some of the same patterns. Maybe you don't know what a nerve cell is. That's what lion's mane is really quite famous for supporting. This is a nerve cell. A nerve cell is the cell that communicates to your body. So if you touch something that's hot and it says, ooh, it's hot, that's your nerve cell doing its job. So if we can offer that support to your body, we're doing some really great things in the system that most people don't get exposed to because they're not buying these types of foods or medicinal mushrooms. So we have one more mushroom. This is the only one that's slightly different. This is an extract, and this mushroom is grown in Japan. It's called Maitake Gold 404. It is a patented mushroom developed by Dr. Nanba. And I will tell you that this is the most expensive ingredient in all of our products. Maybe it's called Maitake Gold because ounce for ounce, it's more expensive than actual gold. So let's look at this mushroom really quick. And whenever we choose our ingredients, we're going for ingredients that have very good clinical data behind them. Because we know if we have that and then we put it together and your customers use it, they're customers for life because they see the benefits, they see the results. This mushroom has been studied at the University of Louisville, Kobe Pharmaceutical University, Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, and it was actually given investigational new drug number by our FDA. Why? Why was it done that? Because, why was it given all that? Because of how potent it is. The Maitake Gold, we know how it can activate and enhance. It supports your actions of the macrophage, which is your natural killer cells and T cells that attack bad cells, viruses, and other pathogens in your body. This is what they look like. That's a macrophage. A macrophage is a type of white blood cell, and that's a macrophage engulfing bacteria. So if we can help your body's cells work properly, then you're going to feel great. Remember, it's about prevention. It's expensive to be sick. James just touched on a little bit, but I will tell you, it is very expensive to be sick. And it's normal in the UK to maybe wake up and not feel so good, but it is not natural. This is a T cell. T cells are a crucial role in the body and help keeping the body strong and help keeping the body healthy. And we know that this Maitake Gold 404, which is the most expensive raw ingredient we have, the product would be golden just with that ingredient, plays a critical role in making sure that these cells stay healthy. The healing power of mushrooms are absolutely non-negotiable. Like, they're based in science. There's no arguing about it. They're well proven, and these medicinal mushrooms have a really beneficial impact on the body. I'm going to touch on 3 more ingredients in MOA. The next one being black seed. Black seed is what gives MOA that extra little kick. People think it's the black pepper extract, but it's really the black seed, which is black cumin, which has a really long history. Origins back to 8th century BC. There's been over 600 studies about black seed. It was an ancient Egyptian used. It was discovered in the tomb of King Tut, mentioned in the Old Testament, book of Isaiah, and used medicinal use for over 2,000 years. We went after, if you can understand what I'm saying here, we went after some of the most potent medicinal foods on the planet that have been used widely in other of the world and put it together in one product so you don't have to travel to Egypt to get great black seed to help your body. What are some of the benefits? Helps liver health. Especially good for any of you who like to consume the drink, alcohol a little bit. Helps balance the immune system, reduction in oxidative stress, and promotes, yet again, cardiovascular health. The #1 killer in the UK and in America, and also the #1 preventable disease. Okay, let's take a look at the last 2 ingredients I want to touch on. I want to touch on our bergamot. What makes our bergamot special? Well, our bergamot comes from it's named after the city in Italy. It comes from Italy, and it comes from the bergamot tree. You see it growing on the hills back there, and we use a very special patented, clinically proven bergamot. Oops, what happened to my bergamot ingredient slide? Oop, it got deleted. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you what it is. The benefits of bergamot, first of all, we're using a potent dose of bergamot, clinically proven dose of bergamot, and what it does for the cardiovascular system, especially how it supports cholesterol levels. So it's great for any customer, and we're using a clinical dose in every pouch of MOA. Any of your customers who might have cardiovascular issues or needs a little extra cholesterol support, this is the ingredient that's really going to be doing it for them. Okay, let's take a look at Bioprene, okay? Bioprene, we've had worldwide an obsession kind of with spices, dates back thousands of years. Black pepper has always been known as the king of spices. And let's talk about what makes this particular one special. This is also a patented, clinically proven extract of pepper. And when you look at the benefits of bioprene, one of the major benefits it's talked about is the ability to increase the level of absorptions of nutrients within your body. You see, where a lot of other companies fail and they fall short in their products is they give you all these great ingredients, but you might have digestive issues, you might have stomach issues, you might have irritable bowel syndrome, you might have a lot of things. And what happens is you're not absorbing nutrients like you should. So when we look at all of our products and we're formulating, we don't look at singular approaches. We look at what do we want to help support the body with? What are the best ingredients we can find? And how can we make sure that you get the most out of that product every time you take it? I think it's that third level that most of our competitors never go to. Because I can make the product can be great, the product will get great results, but what about those people who don't have a good absorption? So we wanted to do something, and we've put bioprene in several of our products because we know you're going to get more out of the other nutrients that are in that product because we spent a little more time, energy, and money to put this ingredient in there. But in addition to helping with nutrient absorption, we know that it helps for memory, neurological support, and immune support, and even help managing stress levels. So when you look at MOA, and you look, people, like I said, people say it's magic. They tell me all the time, oh my gosh, MOA is magic. And I say, no, MOA is not magic. MOA is science. It's science. There's no magic. There's no trick. It is really clear science. It's been well thought out. How do we manufacture it? Where do we source our raw ingredients? How do we put them together? How do we get them to absorb right? Everything down to how do we preserve the product with our own patent pending Natrix that we developed ourselves, preservative, so that you have all of the good and none of the bad. So when you look at MOA, we didn't talk about the white tea or the anti-inflammatory aspects of turmeric or the benefits of blackberry or acai or green tea or mangosteen. I just focused on the mushrooms, the black seed, the bioprene, and the bergamot. That was enough. We shouldn't have added anything else into that product, to be frank with you. We could have just added 2 or 3 of those mushrooms and thought, hey, we've got one of the best products in the market. But we have one of the most comprehensive medicinal mushroom blends in a liquid. I dare you to find somebody who has it better than me. Good luck. It's not going to happen. And so there's my... How long did I just rant for? 30 minutes on some ingredients on MOA.
No, hey, listen, it's not a rant. It's interesting stuff. And, we've done presentations before, but each time you do something different. I think because of the wide spectrum, you can come from different angles. So it was just powerful to hear it from the perspective of the mushrooms as well. And I knew a little bit about bioprene because that was an interesting ingredient to me with the nutrient absorption. But hearing about the mushrooms, I learned a little bit about Maitake 404 before, but all the other ones as well. Powerful stuff. So I'm sure other people feel the same. Appreciate you sharing that. So, Deanna, you touched on it there, but I just want you to reaffirm with everyone, because such the wide variety of these superfoods, and like you used to say that like leading competitors, they would kind of champion these ingredients, but they would just put a sprinkle in, right? Or they'd maybe not get it from the right source. What's the assurance with MOA that what sort of level is being put in of these ingredients?
Well, when we formulate, remember, we come at it with a very comprehensive approach. So if I'm giving you a product, right, James, and you feel nothing from it, I'm not going to have you as a customer for long. I'm just not. And so what we do is we look at all the research, okay? So we're gathering the data, we gather it all, and the data is really clear. It says this many milligrams of bioprene increases absorption of the other nutrients and supports the neurological system. Then the data is very clear. This many milligrams of bergamot helps support cholesterol at this dose a day. this many milligrams of mushrooms. I could go on and on, right?
Yeah.
So we go after the clinical data, and then when we go to our formulator, say, okay, we want to use these ingredients. We've reviewed the clinical data. This is what we want. We want 30 milligrams of this, 25 of this, 40 of this, because we know what the daily requirement is to get a positive result. That's what we're looking for.
Powerful stuff. And actually, I've wrote some questions for further on, but one is relevant right now, so I'll ask it. We put it in the Facebook group, and Fran Heathcote said, what clinical trials have been done on the product to prove its worth? So I don't think we've got anything specifically, but the idea with MOA is to use specific ingredients that have clinical trials, clinical studies to back them up and use them in a clinical dose, right?
Yeah, I've never done an actual clinic on the finished product of MOA, a clinical. We're looking at doing one actually really soon. I have a phone call this week about it, doing one in Israel actually. And so we're not against it. But what I do to ensure that my product is going to work great from the get-go is I buy clinical proven ingredients. So we buy Bergavit, we buy Mataki Gold 404, we buy microfusions, we buy a specialized turmeric, which is already all gone through extensive clinical trials, which is why the ingredients cost us more, because we buy proven ingredients that are standardized with the nutrients that we're looking for, the glyco and phytonutrients that we're looking for. They're going to have the health benefit on the body.
Perfect. So just to understand, Deanna, and just shoot straight, it's no problem if it's cost or whatever. What's the reason why we haven't done a clinical study on MOA thus far?
I just haven't. There's no reason. I just haven't. Perfect. I honestly, I don't have it. I would be running it. I wouldn't be running it, but I would be in charge of setting it all up and then let it go. And it's a lot of work, and I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
And I'm so confident because we buy the ingredients we buy.
Perfect. And like you said, referencing that, the clinical doses.
Yeah, and you have to remember, lots of companies say they've done clinicals on their product, and they haven't. What they do is they garner the research, the clinical research data of their ingredients, and claim that as their clinical study. Happens all the time in the industry.
Yeah. Perfect. You mentioned it just before. Can we touch on it just again for those who don't know, the all-natural preservative, Matrix?
Sure. So we had a very hard time with preservative methods in MOA, and we blew up like 60,000 bottles. It's hard to take all these foods from all over the world, put them in a bottle, expose them to low temperature, and have them not ferment. So we were using a chemical preservative for a long time, which really bugged me. And so then we had different chemists working on to make a preservative that was on the natural side, based from different essential oils. And we did it. It took us almost 2 years. Now it's patent pending. It already won an innovation award, a new product innovation award, a very hard award to win in America. And so we're just happy that we're always looking to improve and get all of the great and none of the bad.
Powerful stuff. Have you got any more slides to add on that, Deanna, or do you want to stop sharing and then we'll just...
Oh, no, I'm good. I'll stop sharing.
Stop sharing. I'll never say that to anyone again, but it's relevant in this case. I just wanted to see that beautiful shirt again. That's all.
You were missing my shirt.
Yeah, I was missing shirt. Here's one, and we've kind of answered it before, and I know you've got a great response to this. What do you say to you if someone says that MOA is expensive?
I can't say what I want to say.
I remember when you used to say, "No problem, you're welcome."
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'd be like, "You're welcome," because we buy such expensive mushrooms. If you saw my invoices and what it costs to make this friggin' mushroom, why does a fancy car cost what it costs? Because when you get in, the quality feels different. Why does a good pair of shoes feel different than the cheap dollar store? Because the quality is different. If you want me to charge you less from MOA, just take a vote, get people to say yes. I'll buy shitty mushrooms. I can drop the cost of MOA in half, no problemo. Done. I will cut the product in half cost.
No, we're good.
it drives me crazy because I know how expensive it is to be sick. And if you went out and tried to buy these organic mushrooms and you saw the cost, you'd be like, whoa, holy moly, MOA's a deal.
Yeah. It's just interesting.
That my manufacturer made me sign a very special release form because Mataki Gold is so expensive of a raw material that they made me sign a special release form saying that they were not liable if something happened to it in the manufacturing facility. So I think when people say it's too expensive, I say, what? Did you have a margarita last Friday night at the bar? Did you buy cigarettes? Did you have beers? What did you pay for that? Because I promise you, that was way more than MOA.
Yeah, it's a valid point. So you know what we're doing in the UK now? We've only just started, but we're creating some traction. We're getting some great stories already with a H3, which is kind of just creating some little disciplines in the morning. And one of those components is MOA for those who didn't know already. Now you'll know why MOA is the product of choice. But how do you see that being a good fit with what we're trying to create and the results we're trying to get?
Well, especially because you're starting off helping people have a positive mindset.
Yeah.
And we know MOA is really good for the mood, and the neurological system and stress levels. Yeah. I think it's a fantastic way to start the day. Remember, MOA can be also dosed therapeutically. So you could take it as a maintenance dose, which is once a day. You therapeutically taste it 3 times a day, depending on what you're suffering from. And I'm going to tell you, every time you say H3, it makes me chuckle.
Why?
Because it says like, hey, 3. I can't even say it the way you say it.
H3. Can you not say it? H3.
I cannot say it the way you say it. Doesn't sound like H.
You say H then.
H. You say H. H3. That's what you say, don't you?
Yeah. What do you say?
H3.
All right. Okay. I can't see the difference, but I'll take your word for it. I got a couple of questions, if that's okay.
Shoot.
This is a good question, actually. Not that you're in the business, but you told me if you ever did the business, you'd be amazing. But that's a different story. But from Emma Baker said, how would you promote this to someone new? I know, like, what we've gone through there is all the detail, But what about just having a conversation with someone with the power of MOA? How would you approach that topic?
I don't know. I'm so different, I think, than most people. Is that I talk about our products all the time. I just can't help it, right? And so I'm constantly talking about products. Do you know how many people are following me off the plane going, how do I get your products? How do I get your products? And I'm like, oh, don't bug me. I don't know. Just here, call this representative, right? And it's because I'm so confident because I know what's in them that I always win, for a lack of better words. So how would I talk to somebody? First of all, I would be a product of the product, right? I just would be. I would not mess around with that. I would have my own testimony. I would know what it has done for my body, and I would speak about that, and then I make it, so I'm super confident, right? And so I don't know. I think I come on it very differently. I'm just like, James, there's never been anyone, why I'd be so good, I think, is there's never been anyone, but I'd have to keep making the product too. There's never been anyone that talks to me and doesn't walk away and they're not in the business who doesn't say, how do I get your product?
Yeah. Because
I'll also say all the hard things. Like I called a guy out the other day on the plane, who's a dad, super unhealthy. And I'm like, man, that's super selfish. You got kids, like 4 kids. Like, way to burden them with your health problems. But I do it with a smile, right? And I'm super loving about it. But I'm also super honest.
How did he take that?
Oh, he wanted my business card. He wanted to buy all my products.
There you go, then. Need to get you in my business. But I think what you said there is true. When the position you're in, you know the detail, you know the quality. Just essentially, it's confidence. And can we get that same level as you? Maybe not because of where you're at and your years of experience, but we can gain our own confidence from consuming the products. And there's other people on this call who've got so many more testimonials from their customers, and that reinforces the belief in that product, and they're confident, and that exudes, and that's why they get more customers, right?
Yeah, it's an unwavering confidence.
Yeah.
So I have an unwavering confidence in this. No one's winning an argument, a debate with me on this, right? Because of my unwavering confidence. And you can think of things in life that you have that about. And when you feel that way with the products, because you've had your own products experience, I mean, nobody can argue with your personal experience.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm also, if somebody doesn't want it, which is pretty rare when I talk to them, but if they don't want something, I'm like, fine, you want to be sick and unhealthy like everybody else, no problem. I don't care. I have no attachment to whether they buy something or not, which I think is super important as well. You know, zero attachment to it. And I think they can feel that.
Yeah.
You know, me not, you either want it or don't. If anything, it's a hassle for me if they do want it because I don't sell the product.
It's so true. There's some good lessons right there. Exude that confidence and don't be attached to the outcome. I think if everyone could practice that, they'd see a big impact on the amount of more customers they got. Another
just
question.
Customers in general, right?
Yeah, you're right. Because what happens with reps generally when they get into a conversation, when they start to get into convincing mode, and hey, I can smell the sale, and I'm going to keep talking about the benefits more and more, and then people just like, hey, they like to buy, but they don't like to be sold to.
You know, I am buying a new car, okay, and I went to a Range Rover dealership the other day.
Yeah.
And I literally looked at the guy and I finally just said, unbelievable. Like, I said, I can't buy a car from you. He's like, well, why not? And I said, because I'm talking myself into your car and you show zero confidence about your car. Like, I looked right at you and say, tell me why your Range Rover is better than my BMW X5. And he was stumbling around and couldn't do it. And I was like, out, lose, you lose. I can't buy a car from you. I can't do it. Because I feel like he's so bad at his job. So if you're going to talk to somebody about something, have that like fire in you. You don't have to know what lion's mane mushroom does. I mean, holy crap. Don't have to know that stuff, right? You can just say it's got medicinal mushrooms in it. They're super powerful and you get incredible results. I have experienced this. And if you say it with unwavering confidence and enthusiasm, you win. I literally drove an hour away to a different dealership, and I walked in and I said, I'm going to be really clear. I'm going to hand you my business card. I want to buy a car, but you've got to really explain to me why your car is the best.
And there you go. How did that end?
They didn't do good either.
Okay, so
most people lack passion. Here's another thing. If you have passion, it's sexy. Right?
That's why you always spend time with me at events. Makes sense? No, I'm joking. Okay, so I've got a question from, you might not have met him yet, you will in the future, Ben Fanning, who co-wrote the H3 with me. So he has a real good understanding of nutrition. And he's also a Mancunian, which will make him endearing to you because I know you love the accent. I think
he's a what?
The accent.
No, but where's he from?
He's from Manchester.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, you got it. So I think, because you mentioned something before, he specifically was asking about, does it help with inflammation? And you've covered that a few times, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you want a inflammation powerhouse, combine MOA with Phenoli. Woo!
Yeah.
Really amazing.
Perfect. He also asked, is there a pre and probiotic in there? Because he's noticed some results and testimonials where it kind of led him to think that they might be.
There isn't, no. But I wouldn't be surprised if people have massive digestive improvement just on the black seed alone.
Yeah, because we were getting testimonials for IBS, leaky gut, fibromyalgia.
Yeah. I'm not surprised it supports the body because of black seed on the digestive system.
Right, so that's probably okay. That's a fact. That's probably what he was looking for. He was trying to understand why that was occurring. So maybe that explains that. Perfect. Let me just see. Has anyone else got any questions? Okay, Deanna, love it and use it. Just having a little look here, Deanna. Someone put magic mushrooms. Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah, kind of wonderful shirt.
Not those types of mushrooms, people.
What do you say? Someone with Lyme disease and other issues, she has bought more but doesn't like the taste. I would say persevere. Yeah, exactly. Hey, nothing tastes as good as healthy feels. There you go. I'll answer that. Yeah, does she have anything about? Oh yeah, Bethany asked this before. I did wrote this down. Just because obviously what MOA is and what we're trying to promote in the company is the plastic we use. Is that
First of all, the pouches are recyclable.
Yeah.
They are BPA free.
Okay.
Hormone disruptor free, absolutely, right? And everything we do is recyclable, including the bottles and the pouches. And the plastics were chosen so that we don't expose you to other chemicals.
Perfect. That answers that one. And if anyone's got any other questions, just type it in. But I think we're pretty much covered. Is there anything that you want to add, Deanna?
No. Just looking forward to seeing you all in October. I'll be over there for an event, and I don't know where and when that event is, James. You probably know, but it's been a while, so I'll look forward to seeing everybody.
Yeah, that'll be October. Plenty of time to keep you guys in the picture with that. It's going to be a cool event, and it's always great to see Deanna. Some of the other execs are over now, and we're just obviously start to gather pace with our new project as well, and linking that in with the MOA. So, expect to see, not that this is a concern of yours, but, well, it is in the sense of the impact that MOA is having, but there'll be a lot more MOA customers by the time we hit October. The company will be happy from a business perspective, but from a health perspective, you'll be happy as well because, your message will be spreading even further. So I think that is pretty much it. Of course, Deanna, always appreciate you. Let's see.
James, I think that if you look at it, instead of looking at a business, but looking at it as an opportunity, never in my life, in 22 years of my career, I'm not really what you would call a businesswoman. I mean, I am, right? But I have never looked at it as, this is the business I'm going to do. I always looked at it at, this is my ability to reach more people and have a bigger impact. And I think that's what has fueled my passion. And in that passion being attractive to people, which made me very successful in my speaking career, and has also helped me in my role at RX, is because of the passionate feelings I have about it all. So if you look out there in the world, and that way you won't take it so personally, and you say, this is my opportunity to help people live better lives, to help be proactive. This is my opportunity to offer them something that works really well, that they'll get phenomenal results on. And I'm doing good on the planet, I'm really doing good. And then you don't get so caught up with, they didn't choose to go with me, or they didn't sign up, or they didn't buy the product. But, it's your chance. And I've always looked as no is just as good as a yes. At least I now know that I'm moving on, and I'm going to find somebody else who wants to take an investment in their health. And if I can help them down that journey, I'm so lucky and so blessed to be doing that.
It's powerful stuff, and that's exactly how we feel now with a combination of the H3 and the MOA, and that's starting to come through with all them testimonials, and that's galvanizing the group, because that's what's important, right? The contribution, having an impact. A couple of other questions have just come up. Any specific benefits related to sports performance, would you say, with a MOA? Or?
Yeah, remember what I said, that the reason, and it was the China, what year was it? Hold on, I'll tell you exactly. The Chinese Olympic team, it became popular over here in the West when the coach of the record-breaking Chinese female runners said, quote, his team's extraordinary success was based on the cordyceps, based on what they in Chinese medicine believe it to be one of the most powerful performance and longevity promoting herbs.
Perfect. And it was all the other benefits you talked about: cardiovascular health, reduced inflammation, all these things that can be attributed or can be a benefit to anyone trying to seek an improvement in physical performance, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. What plant-based is the stevia from?
Stevia is from a leaf.
From a leaf, okay. Does your T-shirt say JL?
I was going to tease you about that. Please tell me it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It says JC, but I kind of bought it because it looked like Canal, and I thought, how cool, I've got my own clothing brand. There you go.
I was going to tease you, but I thought I'd be nice since there were over 100 people on this.
Okay. Someone said some customers experience diarrhea while drinking MOA.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Sometimes that happens. Just tell them to lay off a little bit and build up some tolerance.
Yeah. Can we get the links to any studies we have? Like, or like a reference? Because what the company you say, hey, this is
yeah, so remember, I give you the names, right? So
Yeah.
today this is recorded. Microfusion is a patented company. Go look it up. Yeah. It's online. All their research is there. Bioprene, patented. You can look it up. Clinical data is there. It's all online. You can look up, like, it's all there. You know, the reason why we give you the trade names, which most people don't do, Mentaki Gold 404, the Bergavites, all of that is because it's all there, done by those companies. You can get whatever research you want. Be careful with that research because it makes a lot of claims, and we cannot make medical claims.
Yeah, that's a fine line, right? What we've got, and that's why it's a smart way to reference the individual ingredients and the research already collected, and then rather than talking about more in those terms, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. I think that's.
Wait, I think there was one more question. They said, "Why are there household names of fruits?" I love this question, like orange or strawberry or mango. Very, very easy to answer. I use a small amount of concentrate of those fruits because mushrooms, kelp, white tea, green tea, turmeric, bioprene, black seed, noni, mangosteen taste like crap, like utter, awful, absolute gross sludge. You would not believe how bad that tastes all together in a juice. Imagine coming to my house and putting it all together. So then we got a little bit more on the sweeter profile. MOA is still low glycemic, fine for diabetes. And we got a few of the more common fruits that still have some good medicinal values. So the vitamin C from your oranges, and we put it in there. And we did it to help with the taste profile a little bit, but we went after the better ones.
Perfect. There you go. And the last one, what is the content of the turmeric in MOA? Do you know that?
I don't know it off the top of my head. Sorry, I can get it, but I don't know it right now. Do you know how many products I have in my head? Like hundreds. Because every country has slightly different ingredient decks too, right? Based on regulations. So I'm always like, oh, wait, which one is that? Which is this? So.
Yeah, no, totally understand. And that's a perfect way to wrap up the call. Deanna, thank you for being you. Thank you for making great products. Thank you for wearing that shirt.
All for you.
Oh, yeah. How many superfoods are on that? I don't know. And I'm just glad you had the opportunity to wear it. And listen, I appreciate everyone jumping on the call. You have the information. What you do with that information is up to you. And like Deanna said, but you don't have to be a Deanna Latson. You don't have to be a scientist or an expert. What the key is understanding the power of this product. You know, maybe sharing a couple of things that were on the call, but essentially creating your own experience. Go and finding other people who can benefit from this product, i.e. everyone. Do that and your confidence will grow from your own experience and the experience of other people. Deanna, appreciate your time. Can't wait to see you in October. And maybe I'll leave the final word to you.
Yeah, thanks. You know, it was great being on. It was great having so many of you here. And thanks for the great questions. James, thanks for putting together H3 program. And it's really lovely that you're changing people's lives like that, and you have accountability, because accountability in that booklet is so important. Science shows that makes a difference when you write things down. So bravo on that, and thanks everybody for being on.
Appreciate it, Deanna. Thank you. Thank you, everyone else. Have a great week, and I'll chat to you soon. Cheers, Deanna.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.